First off, most people I talk to don't believe that you don't have internet down here and that you don't communicate with us through email. And so maybe we start about that and then we can go show them the fax machine. But why is that? Why is that a thing?
So I'm not connected. I don't want to be connected. I use a computer as a typewriter and a file cabinet. I don't, with rare exception, I don't take unscheduled inbound calls. I didn't unplug the phone. So if we hear it ring, it's going to go to voicemail. There's like 5 people who I'll pick up the phone for if I'm here and if I see them on it, but otherwise I don't. And it's mostly because, so the reason most people think is because I'm some sort of last dinosaur moving, the great big one with the tiny little arms, and I'm incapable of using any tech. That's not the case. And I know more than I let on because I have it all used for clients. So it's not that I couldn't, I just don't want to. And there's a variety of reasons. One is that I prefer to work with uninterrupted focus on whatever I'm doing. And the more communication channels you open, the more disruption you get. And actually, the more unhappiness I would get, because all those inbound channels have an expectation of immediate response, right? And I'm not going to immediately respond to anything. So restricting them is about that. It's also about client control. So their ultimate behavior as a client in copywriting work and consulting work starts with their behavior way back at the beginning of a process and all the way through it. So much like selling from the stage, right? You exert some control over one little thing and another little thing. You have applause lines. You may do little trial closes. How many of you, right, which you went to out of, is useless because they couldn't respond to you, but out of habit, you went to how many of you would like to, right? So you build all that to build up control, right? So by the time they're working with me, they're very used to, there are rules here, and there's a process here, and this is how we do things if we're going to interact with Kennedy. Last, forcing them to fax forces them to think about what it is that they are going to send. You can tell this was a thoughtful communication, right?
That's why I'm so nervous to send you a fax. Everyone reads it. Everything in there, we can't send a follow-up.
And it gets organized. Your Jenny observed pretty quickly, he likes things in lists. So we'll give it to him in lists, right?
Dan, I got to tell you one funny little thing. On the way over here, Russell said, the first time I was in Dan's basement, I had this moment where I saw my phone number on a sticky note right by Dan's fax machine. He's like, I made his speed dial.
There you go. That's exactly right.
It took me 20 years, but we got it.
That's exactly right. And I don't like the way a lot of digital communication winds up at the other end. Right? I can't control exactly how it looks on a page, type fonts, etc. So for all those reasons, I guess last is I know me. So if I was internet connected, now I have 6 million temptations versus actually working, right? And I'm very susceptible. Oh, let's go see what he's doing. Oh, let's go see what they're saying about me on. See, I have no idea. Okay? None whatsoever. I know it goes on. I'm aware, but I don't see it. Whereas I would be very tempted.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't drive now because of the blindness, but when I did, if Carla was out of town and I went to Panera, I said apple, not the bread, but they put the bread in there anyway. And so on the way in, I would have to put it in a dumpster in the garage and shove it down real deep, because otherwise I'm capable of eating the bread, even going out and getting it back out of the dumpster, right? So I know
Your
me.
own protection, yeah.
I know me. So hooking me up to 12 million websites and videos and podcasts is a bad idea, right? And I know it. And it turns out I don't have to do it, right? Even now, I have a couple minions who will do stuff. I make the client do more, right? So we just had to do some research for this one big project that I'm doing on radio media and media buyers. And I told the client what we were looking for and said, go online, find this stuff, print it out, and fax it to me. So I don't have staff anymore like I once had. There's a day I would have told Vicki to do that. Now I tell the client to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't need to do that, right?
Yeah.
We sell a lot of books on Amazon. I've never seen Amazon.
I was tempted to print out a copy of it and just show you real quick and ruin it for you.
Occasionally somebody does that, but I've never actually done anything on Amazon. I can write the book I want on a Post-it note, and then somebody will get it for me from Amazon. So why should I?
There's a lot of wisdom though in that, like the way in which you've set up your environment to support you. And what I hear too is just like how I'm sure a lot of people watching and listening might be thinking, yeah, but like your clients, want to communicate this way. Your clients want to be able to do this that way. And what I hear is the complete opposite. It was just like shape the environment to help support you to be able to be at your best. And then the right clients will come to you.
Well, so like at Super Conference, you got Robert Greene coming, right? Mm-hmm. So on power.
Yeah.
So all of that is about who wants it more, right? As it is really with any deal, right? Who wants it more? And so if you position yourself properly, and you are actually highly skilled at whatever is your deliverable, then they will put up with your process. And in many cases, they discover from putting up with my process that they should be using pieces of my process themselves. And you will hear that story, right? The other side of what you just said, so Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics. So Maltz used the term success environment or failure environment, okay? And you can either create a success environment for yourself or you can operate in a failure environment, right? And most people operate in a failure environment.
Yeah.
Like I figured out I at one time had 44 employees. I inherited them. I didn't go get them, but I inherited them. And I got rid of a lot of them real quick. But it was a very troubled company. And as a symbolic thing, because I was young and hadn't managed anybody, so I sped read over a weekend, 100 management books, and okay, I get it, right? We're going to go in there and, change the morale and the mood and the culture. You hear that a lot about sports.
Yeah.
And so the door of the office, the CEO office. We took the door off and we mounted it on a wall, and we wrote open door policy in big spray paint on the door. And, you know, I'm here to facilitate your productivity. And guess what? If you do that, all 44 of them will be marching in with one grievance or problem or whatever after another, 99% of which you were paying them to solve on their own.
Yeah.
And by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're lying on the ground dead, and they're all going home at 4 and forgetting about the whole mess. And then you're coming in 2 hours ahead of everybody to get something done before the inmates, you know, get turned loose in the asylum. Well, this is stupid, right? This is no way to run a railroad. And Lee Iacocca, who was CEO of Ford and then invented Mustang and then Chrysler, like, I told the story to Iacocca because we're talking about management. He says, I did the same dumb thing, you know, the first week I was running anything, you know, I thought I'll be everybody's pal and we'll have great morale. And now I'm getting 3 minutes of productivity out of a 12-hour day, you know.
Well,
so,
and even just hearing you say that, like being aware of what your success environment looks like for you. And for everybody, right? And I think that, just like you said, most people just haven't given that thought.
and then you could sell it back to your client thing. As long as, see, like the phone thing. So yeah, clients want to pick up. So they want to send you a text anytime they have a brain fart, right? And most of them are pretty gassy. So they want to send you texts, they want to send you emails, and they want you to pick up the phone and talk to them, right? And I say, you're not going to get any of that. Right? We'll have pre-scheduled calls, and that's it. Now, here's the good news about that. You got 100% of my attention during the scheduled call, which nobody else gives you, because the people that allow you to bother them like that, they're communicating with you thoughtlessly, on the fly, as fast as possible to get rid of you. They're talking to you on the cell phone while they're in the bathroom, while they're walking the dog. No. I'll be at my desk, and I'll have your stuff in front of me, and you will have my undivided attention for the amount of time we have agreed to. That's the benefit to you. Yeah. Second benefit is I'll actually get what I'm doing for you done on time. Nobody else in my industry meets deadlines. Nobody. Right? We've been late on one book recently by 3 weeks to Entrepreneur. And I mean, I'm apologetic like there's no tomorrow, right? It was a co-author. And the editor's going, all the authors are late. Don't worry about it. Right? I'm going, yeah, but I'm not. And I don't expect you to be on the publishing date, right? So you lose all moral authority, right? When you, so, but that's why. That's a long-winded answer to why. It's not just eccentricity. Okay, there's method to the madness.